Welcome to Tell the World. I'm your host, Ota. I hope you're having a blessed Sunday afternoon. Are you washing your hands? Are you making sure you do all the things that they're telling you to do to protect yourself from this virus right now that's killing everybody? I mean, it's spread all over now. It's everywhere over the world now, to the point where you can't even avoid this. Now the cases are now that we're getting them more in the United States now. So what is this virus? And how did it emerge? We're doing everything that we need to do to protect ourselves from catching colds. And we do the basic things. We make sure we wash our hands. We make sure that we do the things that we need to do to keep germs away, so we don't get sick or feel ill from anything that may cause harm to our bodies. The shots that we take, these vaccinations that they tell us that we need to take every year. So we practically do all the things that they tell us to do to protect ourselves. Now, remember in some cases, like when the Ebola came out, it started to get pretty bad over there in Africa, to the point where some people that came back from parts of Africa had crossed back over to the United States till someone in Texas at that point had brought it over, and some nurses and a few other people had got this Ebola where they had to quarantine them. Now you tell me what's going on here. You know, we're supposed to have the answers to these viruses, that we should understand what they are. But do you understand how it emerged? They said that it came from China. They said it came from a bat. And there was some conspiracy saying that it came from a laboratory. Then there was another rumor said that it was some kind of bio-warfare chemical virus put out on people. Now, what is this about? You know, they did a test run by putting an air balloon up so high into the atmosphere, where they was collecting anything that was germs or anything that was unknown from this planet that didn't belong, that they could verify that it didn't belong on this planet, where as it's entering the atmosphere, they had a weather balloon, some type that would catch these organisms and bacteria. And what they would do is, once the balloon come down, they would right away contain it, almost like it's a sponge, and they would contain it real quick and get it to the lab real fast, so they could right away start to see what belonged on this planet and what didn't belong on this planet. And they would find stuff that didn't belong on this planet coming into our atmosphere. So those are things that we should be concerned about, but that's not a big deal. And so we're dealing with a virus that's spreading all over now, rapidly, real fast. And some of these people haven't even been in China, let alone been on a boat. And so you got to ask yourself, where is it coming from? Because right now, they can't give us straight answers. And some of the people, as in scientists and nurses, have dealt with people who have gotten this coronavirus, to the point where they had to be quarantined, nurses and scientists, because they wasn't sure if they had it, but they had handled a patient that had the virus. So you have to see, like, what is this about? Because there's too many things going on that's not making sense. If this person wasn't in no parts of China, how did they get it? And when they did send people back from China, telling them and warning them that they should get back to the States, was that a good idea to bring them back over here? Tag, we're it. Because basically we're getting it now. I've been dealing with this flu for about almost 3 weeks now. And I'm not going to alarm myself like I got it, but, you know, my immune system is pretty strong. And I will be the first to say that I have not had that flu vaccination in probably over 10 or 15 years. So my body has been doing just fine. But now you're talking about a virus that doesn't go away well without a fight where it's killing people now. So they had another person who died from it today, an older person. She was 70 years old. Now, how did this lady get it? The specifics, the details about this situation right here. We may not understand everything about it, but how did this person get it? And what was this person's steps before this person got this virus? And who's coming into the hospital that may have it? Because they may not be sure what it is without them confusing it with a regular common cold. So they send you back home, give you antibiotics that may not work, versus these germs have been spreaded. Then they say the people don't have to worry. There's no need to wear a mask. But people are buying masks because they don't want to take those chances. Oh, don't wear the mask. You don't have it, so you don't need to wear the mask. It's all confusing. Very confusing. So, I wasn't sure how I wanted to do this podcast tonight on this virus. Because by us hearing what these leaders are telling us in CDC, their information and their protocol on how to handle this is all confusing. Because some of the people that did handle these people that might have had this virus, these nurses and scientists, they end up getting it because they didn't follow their own guidelines. It's okay to go in there and touch them. You don't have to worry about it. It's a big risk. Big risk. But what if it's airborne? What if it's airborne? Because people could be dying over something that could be basically airborne. And we may not even know it. Now, I'm throwing it out there as a suspicious conspiracy. Or maybe I'm just being a wise man who's just thinking of some things and some possibilities that you have to put out there for understanding. You just never know. I mean, a bat first, they said it came from a bat. And then they're trying to understand how did it go from a animal, bat, whatever you want to call it, how did it get into a human's body? Scientists are not sure about that one yet. And so that's where the problem comes in, where my brain starts to think. You don't know if it did come from a bat, how did it jump from the bat to a human? Weird. So it makes me think something else is going on because of how fast it's spreading fast. We have family members and friends, and everybody, including myself, is at risk. I always use this term when it's out of control and there's nothing you can do. You're in the corner, and the only thing you got left is a fight in that corner. There's no way you can get out. I always use this term. We're dead. I don't mean it in that bad way. I'm not trying to scare anyone. But how are you feeling about this virus? Are you doing what they ask of us to do by washing our hands? Don't touch our mouths. Don't touch our eyes. This is how it enters the body. This is what they're telling us. Now imagine yourself on how you get up every day and you can just be going to your mailbox, getting your mail, going back into your house. All of a sudden, you come down with the flu. Later on, you'll find out that your flu has gotten worse, so you go to the hospital and they tell you that you have this coronavirus. A coronavirus has gotten into your body and you didn't do anything but go to your mailbox? Big risks. I can't trust nothing that they say. I don't think we should trust what they say because they can't even give us the right information about how it's done and how it's spreading out here so fast. You got people coming back from these other countries that's coming back to America. Now they're putting, I think Trump is putting a ban on anybody that comes back here with a fever or any type of illness that they cannot cross over. It's too late. It's here in America. And when I say we're dead, well, roll the dice on it. Because people are dying from it right now. And people are ill from it right now. So, common colds, common flus, we don't know. We have no idea. It's a big risk. And I don't want scientists, and I don't know what I don't understand gambling with my life. I don't. I don't want it. But I have no choice. So that's why I said we're dead. Because I don't have a choice. I can't run from something I can't see. I can't run from something that I don't understand. It's just spreading all over. And I know people say, well, don't get excited. Don't scare everybody else. I don't want to scare nobody. But we all need to be aware that, something's not right and we're just, want to make sure. What about the kids? What about them? It's supposed to attack people that are older with weaker immune systems, but older people, their bodies may not be equipped to handle a virus as bad as this one. Versus a young kid, it may be able to fight it off. So you deal with somebody who's in between those ages right there. They can be a little bit more stronger. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. Not the way this virus is. Not the way it attacks our bodies. And I'm talking about your regular flu shots will do nothing to this virus. That's what we're dealing with. I can't trust what CDC is saying. Because, everybody knows that how do you control, I'll give you an example. So you're at work, you got a blood spill. Right away, no one can go near this blood spill. So you have to quarantine this blood spill. And you got to make sure nobody goes near it. Because you can't take any chances of workers, being in harm of something that can be, probably these pathogens could be contagious or infected. And so you have to quarantine it and use the right solutions to handle that, the treatment to that blood, of getting that blood up and make sure it doesn't get no further than where the spill is. So how did this virus get out of control? And how did the nurses get it? They don't even understand. And they might have done all the right things. They might have wore gloves. Okay? Or did they wear gloves? Now, did they touch their mouths? Did they touch their eyes? How did they get it? They have to stay home now. Because now it's to the point now is that they don't know if these nurses have it. But if you did touch someone who did have it, you may be at risk too of spreading it. Let's say it may skip the nurse and go to one of their kids, go to their husband, go to their wives. When you're dealing with germs, that's how germs are. You ever wonder when you have a cold or a flu and you live at home and you have a family there and you notice when your flu leaves that somebody else gets it, but it doesn't leave until it's done with you. And then once it leaves your body, it seems like somebody else in your house gets sick. That's the weird stuff that I'm talking about when it comes to viruses. Now, you can get 2 people in the house sick, but then the rest of them may not be sick. Now, they may heal up, but then all of a sudden the people that wasn't sick now they're sick because the other 2 people have healed up. That's what viruses do, that we don't quite understand. And we trust these scientists to give us the right information on how to handle this. Now, they're telling us not to wear masks. There's no need. but we can't touch our mouths and our eyes, our eyeballs. So if we don't need to wear masks, then why do you tell us not to touch our mouths and eyes? Now, some people will say, well, that's what they say you don't do. You wash your hands. It don't matter. It just doesn't matter. We don't know all the places where germs go on our bodies. And why has it always got to be our hands? It could be anywhere for it to live on for a period of time. Human touch, contact, all of that. That's how it spreads. Tag, you're it. Now, I'm not trying to put a scare out there, but what's going on? Because we all have to stay busy every day. So we're amongst many people. And so we're bringing germs from off the streets into our homes. So we don't know what we're bringing into our homes. We have no idea. The only thing you can do is use your disinfectants and use your Lysol, and just keep things that you brought from the street out on the street. Alcohol your shoes. Lysol your doorknobs. Lysol your house. We don't know. We all gonna have to probably become OCD and not take these chances right now until they get this under control, because it's spreading right now, and it's not good. It's not good. You ask me, am I afraid of it? Yes, I am. Because if I get it, I don't want nobody that I love, and I don't want my friends or family getting it. They tell you to stay home when you have a cold. Some people don't stay home. Some people come to work because they need the money. So not only the economy is going bad, but it's putting people who are working every day in a bad position. Dominoes. It falls on everybody. So what do we do? What do we do about this? Do we just settle for what they're telling us? It's a big risk. You get your kids home, make sure that they take baths. As soon as they come that door, put them in the shower. Get those clothes washed, because you never know what's going on. And we don't know how this coronavirus is being spreaded. I really believe it's airborne. I really believe it. It's just weird. I really believe it. When the Ebola was out and people were dying from it, the cases were in Africa that they was about to lose 1 million some people over there, and death from this disease, this virus. People were dying, and they were taking those dead bodies and burying them in the ground, the soil. And so when you get animals digging in the soil, eating what's in the soil, and then you get humans who eat from these animals, hey, you never know what's going on. You never know how you're catching it. But for some reason, the Ebola has been suppressed. They have taken care of it. It's not a big issue anymore over there in some parts of Africa. I can't give the name quite. But at the same time, it's not a big issue anymore. It's been resolved because United States sent a team over there, and they got it all suppressed and under control. So it's no big threat anymore. So the big threat right now is what we're dealing with right now, the new virus, the disease is spreading. This germ, this virus, what is it? Excuse me if I said disease, but virus that's killing people? I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to scare everyone, but let's be just a little bit more aware that, this going on may not be good for any of us, because we're all at risk. And beggars can't be choosers. Maybe it won't live that long in your system. Maybe it'll just become a common flu and it just leaves your body. It all depends on your body, how it reacts to it once it's in your body. Because they say China, that's where it came from. Now, will they come up with a vaccination to get this up under control? because they did take care of that Ebola. They suppressed it. The United States came in and saved the day. And I remember that, I don't know how they call them. They don't call them presidents, and I'm not sure if they call them prime ministers in other countries, like we call our president, who runs the country. But the Queen over there had thanked the United States for getting it up under control, the Ebola. And they were grateful for it. The United States came in, and scientists, military came in and saved it. Saved all those people from getting killed. They lost thousands, but they were heading toward millions. So will the United States solve this problem again? Will the CDC solve it? Right now we need answers. Because we don't know if we're doing the right things or not to, keep from getting this. Because it's spreading all over. So we're all at risk. Because we're so used to getting up every day and traveling without no fear of worrying about this. But now we have to worry about this. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about everybody with this. Because I don't understand the virus. And if these people that understood how to handle a virus and quarantine people, why didn't they follow all the protocols of protecting themselves? That's the question there. What's going on? Why are they being put at risk? And if nurses and scientists are being put at risk, what about us? What about the nation? What about the world? That's what I'm fearing. So I believe the best thing we can do is do the little things that we do every day and make sure we wash our hands and, keep your shoes at the door and not nowhere near your whole home because you just never know what you're bringing in. It could just be stepping outside. It could just be in the air. There's been many movies out there about chemicals being spread out there and it's causing people reactions. And people are dying from, chemical bio warfare. We don't know who's doing this because we don't even understand it because they don't understand it. They don't know where it came from. But I believe a few months ago, they had warned us about a virus that was going to be out there. I could be wrong, but I believe I remember hearing them say this about 3 months ago about a virus. You ever notice they always telling us every year to get them flu shots for some reason? Just very weird. I understand flus and stuff, but when I was growing up, I seen a lot worse than even just worried about, getting all these shots because I remember when I was a kid seeing the snotty-nosed kids that had congestion on their chest and their nose are running. And so that was something scary to see, but it really wasn't because, you was used to it, but you were a kid. But the viruses right now that we're having, this is weird. This is weird. And we'll get our Republicans and we'll get our leaders to say, well, they are to blame, this person to blame. They are straight fucking us within their twisted conversations and information. So the best thing we could do is use your wipes, sanitizers, bleach, Lysol. I'm not saying be OCD, but if you do all those things right there and you still get sick from something, or if you get this coronavirus, then there's something else going on if you did all the right things. I believe it's in the air. That's just a little conspiracy talk for today. Until the world. And if you like my podcast, please hit that subscribe button and follow me for more shows. And you guys have a blessed evening.